Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Cane game. Let's get this show on the road. Which one? And this game is peculiar in that my transformation really mattered, even though I really didn't want to go into it. So, Kane recently had a change, well, not recently, but a little while ago, had a change in that even if you have a transformation completed, you can keep gathering souls to go into the other one. This is really helpful because oftentimes you screw yourself out of the transformation that makes the most sense. Oftentimes, as Kane, you might be, killing a bunch of the AD carries, and therefore they're squishy, and you get anime Kane, but you really need to go Rust. This is kind of one of those situations, because even though I really like playing anime Kane, like look at their front line. So the enemy team comp is extremely bad. And it's not bad because bottom lane or mid lane, the combination of both Volibear and Yorick together really drains the power that the enemy team comp has against mine. And I'll point it out right now in a second after you see this really bad gank I pull off at bottom lane. Well, it's not a bad gank, just I kind of missed. But yeah. So, Anime Kane could be really good here because I could execute the Caitlyn before she does anything, but Soraka existing makes my life miserable. Just like right here. Well, it's mostly because I missed my W. If I had hit that, Soraka would have died. Well, no, Soraka is just a pain in the ass. But anyways, as I was digressing, their front line is really weak. So Volibear, we already know he's pretty much a bad champion. And combine that with this guy not farming enough to be able to buy some of the items that make him less janky. Being behind, having Ghost without Predator, and going the full ham build of going, running at people like a supersonic teddy bear, it's kind of flimsy at best. And like I said, Yorick isn't a bad champion, and so, the other two lanes aren't exactly bad, but the combination of having Volibear and Yorick is the only front line, and their unique combination of being super slow and moving about, barring Volibear's Q, being very healthy in terms of health, but not actually resistances, makes him super vulnerable. By the way, good call on the Sylas here using my ultimate to escape. But anyways, what does that mean? If there are two gigantic health pools in front of my team with very little mobility or actual damage to, they have sustained damage rather than a murderous burst damage, what does that mean? Rost will basically absolutely obliterate them. So that's what I really have to go for. Unfortunately, since I'm mostly pulling off ganks at bottom lane and obviously failing at them, it's kind of making me, it was tilting me. I'm mostly just getting souls. At this point, after this gank at bottom lane, I was already able to transform into Anime Kane. But unfortunately, it's not the build I wanted to go, obviously. Because like I said, even though I could kill the Caitlyn and then just sort of rub the team off, just the rest of the team just sort of disappears from that. It could also go really badly if we don't win a lot of these team fights, since they did have technically a lead early on. And then my choice becomes worse. Combine that with Soraka just in general being a pain in the ass to assassins, and you kind of have a situation where I might have just failed if I were an Anime Kane. So I stick around as base Kane a lot longer, despite the fact that you've seen that it just sort of is bothersome not being able to do very much other than flimsy damage and questionable ganks. So I persevere, but you can see my farm is really damn good so far. In comparison to at least my jungle opponent and even the enemy laners, I'm doing pretty good. Just farming the jungle, stealing from Volibear whatever I can, getting some lane CS, and again, I'll be opportunistic here. I popped my ultimate real quickly so he couldn't do that whole stealing my ultimate and surviving thing again. Hooray. But yeah, if you guys haven't been able to tell, I've actually been really enjoying playing League of Legends again. After my whole bout of sadness and, playing Kenshi again and everything, playing Kenshi and then just sort of relaxing with that, I just kind of decided to adopt the philosophy of just like, just relax. Don't let the game get to you too badly. I mean, of course, I could still be a little bit emotional about a loss, but, play League of Legends. Play what I want to play, or at least, play. And right, think of it as less for money and more for enjoying the game. And I've actually had much of a bigger blast. And I've been winning more, ironically. By the way, I got Ross now, thankfully killing Sylas. So now you'll see from this point on that the enemy team really, or at least their front line, is going to punish their team. Since they're really relying on their front line to, make them survive. just me alone, honestly. Me and the combination of, well, sorry, Alistair, Malzahar and I are pretty much going to be the end of them, because Malzahar kind of destroys whatever fatty gets in front of him with all his damage and his space aids, and then I can just clean up right after him or provide this front line that if the enemy team is sort of forced to focus, and if they can't do so, they just sort of die. By the way, there you can see I failed a lot of CC, and I even failed right here. But thankfully, we were able to coordinate at least enough to chunk the Soraka down, get me in position where I can hit both her and Miss Fortune after coming out and finishing them off. It's pretty kind of nice looking kill right there. And we also get the turrets, and we get a dragon. But yeah, going back to the whole heaviness thing. Yeah, I've been making myself play whenever I stream at least 5 games, 4 or 5 games every stream, and not worry so much about money. You know, it used to be like, so if I didn't focus on Twitch or if I didn't focus on YouTube, you know, I won't do so well this month or whatever. And it honestly made me miserable. But now that I've been like, you know what? Even if my video don't get monetized, or if the music I play in my Twitch is kind of really bad to have because it's gonna, you know, do damage to it, I don't care anymore. And it's been much more fun. That's why you hear me playing all this weird glam rock in my stream. But anyways, as you can see there, the amount of damage I do to Volibear is sad, essentially erasing him from the game. And yes, he is really behind item-wise, but he did this to himself, so I get to punish him for it. And now I can melt every camp constantly, you know, find victims, and just, poor Volibear, he basically doesn't exist. He exists to feed me my health regen. So yeah, at this point, the enemy team is going to have issues dealing with me, dealing with Malzahar, and just that alone is, you know, game over. There, you gotta love how I buffered that W. Give me some credit there, folks. So yeah, melt Xylus, take more turrets, you know, scope around bottom lane, get more, you know, get yet another turret. Essentially, yeah, the enemy team sort of lost at this point. And again, I'm not gonna say that the player is exactly bad because I don't know anything else about him, but Volibear was honestly a really detrimental choice. I mean, like, even though they did put a stop to Tryndamere, it's kind of a moot point because it's a Tryndamere. The Malzahar was obviously his best bet for ganking, or one of his better bets for ganking, and he should have been focusing more on him and perhaps bottom lane, because eventually, you know, if we are way better at farming and controlling lanes and whatnot than their team comp, so, or at least in combination, you know, all parts considered. So once team fights started rolling around, our superior gold was just gonna sort of crush them. So yeah, they just kind of got melted. That team fight was absolutely brutal, and of course we had a huge advantage, but, you know, whatever. Also, I do love the fact that we still have Rift Herald, so he gets to dance with us at the end before he explodes. So yay for us, and yay for Rift Herald for dancing, well, the first time I've seen him dance in my videos. And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos, because YouTube and stuff.